Assalamu alaikum. So, if you're a Muslim that's been considering making Hijrah to Indonesia, you've probably been wondering what visa options are available. So, that's what we're going to talk about in this video. So, Alhamdulillah, I made a Hijrah to Indonesia myself after growing up in the West, in the UK. Now, this video, what I'm going to do is share the current visa options that exist today for Muslims to make Hijrah here. So, the final one, I believe, is the best option. So, yeah. Number one, remote worker. So it requires an employment contract from a foreign company, whether you own the company and then you hire yourself or you just have a job for a foreign company. You can get this. Minimum 60K annually, grants 1 year residency, and it can be renewed. You can sponsor your dependents as well, so you can bring your family, bring your wife, etc. And yeah, so some cons of it: there's no permanent residency option. So it's just you're going to be tied to that remote work. And yeah, there is changing rules on the renewals and stuff. So at any point, if they decide they're going to stop this, then you're also out. You've not got as much stability when it's just a 1 year residency. And obviously, if you're not earning over 60K, then it's not an option. But that is an option for the people that makes sense for. Next is going to be a job. So yeah, you get an Indonesian job, they sponsor your visa. Simple, realist. It's quite self-explanatory. You get 1 year, and it's renewable. Obviously, if you stay in the job, it's simple and cheap. They're just going to handle it all for you, and yeah, you don't have to pay for any of that stuff. So cons: it is very low salaries. Like Indonesia is not somewhere people come for a thriving career or to make a lot of money. Of course, you can come and you can learn English, you can teach English and stuff like this, and you're going to probably make like 1 to 2K per month dollars, which you can live a very good life in Indonesia with that, but it's going to be way lower salaries than what you're used to, and also compared to like the Gulf and stuff. So generally, are people coming to Indonesia for a job? Not loads, but it is an option. So yeah, if you lose your job though, this is for any place. If you're going to get a job to get a visa, you're just so tied, you're so dependent on the job. If they realize they can just hire someone else locally or they just don't need you, you've lost the visa and you've lost your job at the same time as well. So that's not a good thing. Obviously, you don't want to be losing your job and you don't want to be losing your residency at the same time. So that's a con that I see of that, but it's an option as well. Yeah, you can also set up a company as well, a foreign-owned company. Now it's got higher barriers to entry, which is 150,000 paid up capital. So instantly you've got to put in 150K into the business. And yeah, with a long-term investment plan of 650K. So if you're actually committing to building a big business in Indonesia, then it's an option. And yes, minimum 2 shareholders. You set it up via a notary, and it'll cost around 3K to 8K dollars to set it up. And yeah, it gets you 2 years residency. Later, you can convert to more of a permanent residency. So this, if you're actually looking to move your if you've got a company in the US or whatever, and then you're looking to move over here, build a company, then it can make sense. Next, these are some other options to go through quickly. And then the final one, which I'm going to go through, is going to be what I believe to be the best one, the most smooth one. So if you deposit 130K into an Indonesian bank, you just let it sit there, you get 5 years residency and you keep renewing it as long as it's in there. Is it the most ideal to park your money in Indonesian rupiah? I don't think so, because, for example, in the past, I think since January around about, the Indonesian rupiah versus the dollar has lost 10% value. So you're going to be losing heavy value. The Indonesian rupiah, probably you don't want to be putting a lot of money into that or any money into that realistically. And obviously, if it's in an Indonesian bank, you don't want to be dealing with riba, you don't want to be dealing with interest and stuff. You'd be having to calculate what percentage has been added as interest, get rid of that and stuff like this. It's not really the best. It's not the best option, I don't think, at all. You can also buy a property worth minimum $1 million, and it gets you 5 years renewable visa. It's an option as well. Then you've got retirement as well. If you're over 60, you can place $50,000 into an Indonesian bank, and you have to have health insurance, which can be questionable Islamically, many of them. But yeah, those are some other options. So final option, which I believe to be the best, is to marry. So if you're wanting to get married and you're wanting to make Hijrah, it's so logical to me. yeah, you get a 2-year visa initially, and then after 2 years of being married, you can turn it into a 5-year visa, which is called the ITAP. After 5 years, you can then turn it into permanent residency. So you've been married for 5 years. Basically, what you're going to do, you're going to come, you're going to get the 2-year visa, then you're going to do 5, and then it's been 7 years, and then after that, you convert to a permanent. So there's no more renewals, there's no more worrying about all this renewal stuff, and it's obviously 2 years and 5 years is better than always having a 1-year thing where you're questioning whether you're going to be able to stay, which I believe to be a good thing. And yeah, after 10 years of marriage, you also have the visa even if you get divorced as well. And after 5 years of actually being in Indonesia, you can also convert, or you can get citizenship. It is possible. There's a few requirements like being fluent in Indonesian and stuff like this. But if you actually just want to fully stay here, then it is an option. Is it the best option? It's dependent on your situation. Like, you can't have dual citizenship. If there was dual citizenship, it would be fantastic. And perhaps they change it. But right now, there's no dual citizenship. So if you've got a US passport, UK passport, whatever, you've got to give it up. You've got to give up that citizenship, which for travel and stuff is just not really going to be very good. But if you're not really planning to travel, then it's not as bad. You're going to have there is benefits to it, 100%. You can set up a company as an Indonesian rather than as a foreign-owned company, and there's actually very favorable tax setups and stuff if you can set up as a citizen. There's also going to be other benefits, and the biggest con for me is the long Hajj wait. So the Indonesian wait time for Hajj is like between 20 and 40 years, which I was so shocked when I thought about that. I for some reason in my mind was just thinking, yeah, for Hajj you can just sort of go whenever, but it's 20 to 40 years wait time, which is absolutely crazy. There is options of like you can get some sort of, you pay basically to skip the queue, but it's very expensive, like 25K or something like this dollars. But the option is there, and yeah, I believe this to be the best one. If you're actually looking to do it, then it makes the most logical sense to me. It's the most simple path. So inshallah the video has been a benefit to you, and probably one of them stands out to you more than others. So if it stands out to you more, okay, I want to get married, I want to relocate here as well, then you can go to the link in the description and I can help you through the whole process, because it's what I did. Alhamdulillah, it's the process I did. So I can literally hold your hand from start to finish, okay, finding the woman, vetting the woman, navigating all this stuff, and then navigating actually living here long term. So if you want help with that, you can go to the link in the description, and inshallah I will be of benefit to you. So yeah, assalamu alaikum.